what you may about the Aam Aadmi Party politically, but the party knows how to give it as good as it gets. While the weekend was dominated by reports of a lookout notice against the Deputy Chief Minister of Delhi, Manish Sisodia, on charges of corruption in a liquor policy, Sisodia turned the tables today with a stunning claim. The Aam Aadmi Party leader says he was asked to split his party in return for dropping of all charges and was also promised the CM chair. With this, the conversation has gone from allegations of corruption to a claim of trying to break up the Delhi government.
बहुत शॉकिंग था कि मेरे पास मैसेज आया कि दो मैसेज थे, दो पार्ट थे उस मैसेज के कि एक तो आपके खिलाफ जितने ईडी के सीबीआई के केस चल रहे हैं इनको सबको खत्म कर दिया जाएगा, और दूसरा है कि आप बीजेपी ज्वाइन करके पार्टी तोड़ के बीजेपी ज्वाइन कर लीजिए और हम आपको सीएम बना देंगे, क्योंकि हमारे पास में कोई सीएम कैंडिडेट नहीं है वहां पे दिल्ली में भारतीय जनता पार्टी में।
मनीष सिसोदिया जी जैसा भ्रष्टाचार का आरोप है, भारतीय जनता पार्टी ऐसे भ्रष्टाचारियों को सजा दिलाने के लिए कार्य करती है और हम हमेशा लड़ते रहेंगे। भारतीय जनता पार्टी का ख्वाब कोई न देखे, भ्रष्टाचारी बेईमानों के लिए भारतीय जनता पार्टी ऐसा सोच भी नहीं सकती।
Now, where Sisodia made the claim is almost as important as what the claim was. Manish Sisodia and Arvind Kejriwal are on a two-day visit to Gujarat. It's their fifth visit this month. Clearly, the Aam Aadmi Party is hoping to recreate the Punjab magic in Gujarat and using the attacks on them in Delhi as a campaign pitch. The Gujarat rally today reiterated that the AAP would bring the Delhi model to the BJP bastion. Now, let that sink in. Aam Aadmi Party wants to take on the BJP in a state in which it has ruled for 27 years. Not just that, this is Modi's home state and stronghold. And the pitch seems to be that the BJP has gotten too arrogant and is attacking opposition parties unfairly.
वेड़ अब अचानक क्यों चालू हो गई? इसको गिरफ्तार कर लिया, एक और कल केस एक और रजिस्टर कर दिया, अभी तो बहुत गिरफ्तारियां होंगी। ये सब गुजरात के चुनाव की वजह से दिसंबर में खत्म हो जाएगा। दिसंबर तक हो रहा है, बस ये दिसंबर तक चुनाव हो जाएगा गुजरात का। गुजरात में भारतीय जनता पार्टी की जमीन खिसक रही है, इनका 27 साल का शासन खिसक रहा है। अभी मनीष भी गिरफ्तार होंगे और भी कई हो सकता है, मेरे को भी करने, क्या करेंगे क्या नहीं करेंगे, कुछ भी करेंगे।
हमारा सवाल ये है, अरविंद केजरीवाल जी ने किससे पूछकर ठेके खोले, कितने पैसे लिए और आखिरकार इसका जवाब कब देंगे? मोहल्ला क्लिनिक से मोहल्ला ठेका, ये अरविंद केजरीवाल मॉडल है। मोहल्ला क्लिनिक में दवा नहीं मिली, मोहल्ला ठेका में घर घर दारू पहुंचाने का काम इन लोगों ने किया है। और जब इनका भ्रष्टाचार पकड़ा गया तो 24 घंटे की मैंने मोहलत दी थी कि अरविंद केजरीवाल जवाब दें। अरविंद केजरीवाल जी आज तक भी मुंह नहीं खोले हैं। ये अपने आप में मोहर लगाती है कि ये क्या करते हैं, कैसे करते हैं और कितना बड़ा भ्रष्टाचार इन लोगों ने किया है।
Now, Kejriwal's ambitions in Gujarat are not new and it has not been easy. This is, after all, a BJP bastion. The closest anyone comes is the Congress that has been waiting on the sidelines for nearly 3 decades in a state it once ruled. The AAP has so far barely made a dent. So let's take a look at their political journey in Gujarat so far. In 2014 Lok Sabha polls, the Aam Aadmi Party contested 24 out of the 26 Lok Sabha seats. They lost all and secured about 1.17% of the vote. In 2017 Assembly polls, they started small. They contested 29 out of the 182 seats, lost all and got a negligible vote share. In 2019, AAP sat out in Gujarat in the Lok Sabha polls and didn't contest. But in 2021, they waded into the civic polls, where they did pretty decently in Surat with 27 seats, got about 21% vote share, in Gandhinagar and about 17% vote share in Rajkot polls. Still small fry compared to the BJP, but clearly eating into the Congress vote share. This time round, they plan to fight all 182 seats in the Gujarat Assembly elections that are due later this year. So the big question really is this entire AAP versus BJP fight centering over Gujarat, like Arvind Kejriwal claims that it's all about Gujarat? Can Aam Aadmi Party truly challenge the BJP in Gujarat? And will the Delhi model promise work out in Gujarat for the party? Is it going to be the next battleground for AAP versus BJP? And importantly, because today Manish Sisodia has made a very, very shocking claim. Should he then reveal who exactly from the BJP asked him to break up his party in return for a free pass? To speak on this, I'm joined now by Charu Pragya, BJP spokesperson joining us on the show, Vikram Dave, Aam Aadmi Party spokesperson joining us on the show, and Nilanjan Udwin, author and journalist who has tracked the BJP and Prime Minister Modi's career graph for many decades. Great to have you on the show, Nilanjan. So let's begin with Mr. Dave. Since the claims have come from your side today, sir, who has sent Mr. Manish Sisodia this message? Why doesn't he just reveal it? In the evening, you were hearing sources about some audio tape which is available. So tell the people.
Good evening, everybody, all the viewers. Namaskaram. See, Mr. Sisodia has revealed something. He is a responsible person. And as and when time comes, he will definitely reveal it. Unfortunate part is anything he speaks would be used against him because the ED, the CBI is behind him, and the ED also is lavishly used by the central government against all the opposition. So it is perfectly natural. But then he is a responsible person. He is somebody who has got a revolution, a transformation in India's education. And he is the deputy chief of the state. So I think when he claims something, it should be taken up at par. And things are going to
You
move
said
further
some very
from
nice
here.
things, sir, but you didn't answer my question even a bit. You didn't even attempt to answer my question. If that is a very serious claim, it's a claim I think all opposition parties today will believe. They're saying that this Operation Lotus has been done to us also. But tell us who did it.
See, there is something I would want to tell you. What happened with Ajit Pawar in Maharashtra? When he was sworn in as Deputy CM at 5 o'clock in the morning, okay? And immediately his charges were dropped in the irrigation scam. It was said that it was something like 55,000 crore scam or whatever. I mean, I am not aware of the nitty-gritties. But yes, they were dropped. So this is a modus operandi. We in Gujarat are very much used to this kind of operational work done by BJP. BJP has been, imagine, last election the BJP won 99 seats. The Congress had won 77 seats. Today, Congress is at a meager 60 seats. So what happened to the 17 people? 17 MLAs? See, that is the way Operation Lotus works. What happened in Karnataka? What happened in Madhya Pradesh?
Right.
What they tried to do and what happened in Maharashtra?
So that's the thing, you know, Charu Pragya, that's the problem, that when Manish Sisodia makes this claim, it's a stunning claim, no doubt, but there are enough people who will say that, yes, maybe that's possible. That's not completely unbelievable because this Operation Lotus has now become a very famous political operation. This is something the BJP seems to have perfected in state after state after state. What makes one think that you might not be trying this in Delhi? There's no reason to believe you may not.
So, Tamanna, my level of commitment, the kind of we have been having over the last few days has been increasing, very steady, increasing with every single day. So, you see the diversionary tactics of Aam Aadmi Party. The entire question is about the policy. The questions are about the liquor policy. The investigations are about the liquor policy. And they will talk about every other thing, every press conference except the liquor policy. They started with the first press conference with a copy of the New York Times. And that did suffice. The distraction number 2 became education. Schools in Delhi. Distraction number 3 became Kejriwal becoming the top contender against Prime Minister Modi in 24 elections. Distraction number 4 was a fake lookout notice. They spread a rumor about that. The CBI clarified it and said no lookout notice had been issued. Distraction was number 5. Yeah, this is the newest
Charu,
one.
you've lost count or you've been distracted by the distractions. You've lost count.
Let me finish. Come on, now, give me my time.
Yes,
please.
yes.
Give me my time. You made me forget my number. But okay, number 5 or number 6, newest distraction that the Aam Aadmi Party is using to deflect from the cause at hand is that Mr. Sisodia has been invited to join BJP. Had he told you he's been offered? Maybe deputy prime minister. Maybe he's going to be the president of the party. Or is he getting the Bhajpa Rashtriya Adhyaksh? I have no idea. But there is no doubt to the level to which this party will go to
Okay,
shield.
Charu, I need to fix your audio line. So let me move to Nilanjan Mukhopadhyay till we get your audio line fixed. It's a little patchy. They're going to try and improve that so that we can hear what you're saying. Yeah, so let's do that. Nilanjan ji, how do you look at this Gujarat challenge? Because the claim today is all of this AAP versus BJP over multiple things which had kind of died down around 2019, if you recall. It kind of flares up around big assembly elections. So do you see this Gujarat fight as a David versus Goliath fight? What is Arvind Kejriwal exactly doing in Gujarat?
Tamanna, politics is essentially about first winning the battle of perception, and then you win the actual elections when the time comes. At the moment, it appears that the Aam Aadmi Party is running away with the battle of perception. They definitely have created a big splash in Gujarat. They definitely have put the BJP into the back foot. You have to understand, to be able to understand my statement, or to see that in the last 8 years, the principal line of attack of the BJP against the opposition parties has been that A, they are dynastic, and 2, that they are corrupt, full of corrupt leaders. Third, they are regional forces, and they are casteist. Now, none of these accusations stick on the Aam Aadmi Party as yet. That is why, especially after the last assembly elections, when Aam Aadmi Party swept Punjab, the BJP really woke up to the idea that the Aam Aadmi Party might actually become the eventual challenger. So the urgency grew within the BJP to somehow or the other fix at least one of these major tropes which they put on the opposition parties. Dynastic can't stick on the Aam Aadmi Party because it is not, none of the leaders have their families in politics. They are not a regional force. They are not caste-centered politics. So the only way you can do it is to actually get them on a corruption charge. So they first arrested Satyendra Jain. I really do not know what the case is, in what progress has been there, except that he is in the jail. In perception, does not really look that the Aam Aadmi Party has lost the battle as far as the people of, at least as far as the Aam Aadmi Party supporter and those who are likely to look at the Aam Aadmi Party as a challenge.
Right.
So you then try to get Manish Sisodia. So Manish Sisodia is also very smart. He is also trying to play the martyr, that they are actually corrupt, arresting me, they are going to file cases because they are scared of us. So if the Aam Aadmi Party is able to drive home this message to the people, I'm not saying that in any case going to challenge and maybe win a majority in Gujarat, at no point I'm saying, but they definitely have the just a moment, they definitely have the wherewithal to change the entire electoral equation and leave a situation where we end up with a hopelessly hung assembly. Mind you, last assembly elections, the BJP was down below the 100 mark. It was just about 4 or 5 seats away from the magic mark.
But
so
these
it's actually
guys
a very
got nothing.
tight. It's actually a very.
But Aam Aadmi Party scored close to nothing in Gujarat. What has changed in
Aam
5
Aadmi
years?
Party was nothing in Delhi. If I might remind you, in 2013, it started on the first election at 40, it ended up winning 27 seats. The next election it contested in 2015, it ended up winning 67 seats. We have covered enough elections to know that it takes just a few moments to turn an entire election narrative on its head. I'm not saying that this is going to happen, but I definitely feel that the BJP has to look for some fresh tactics to be able to overcome the challenge it is facing from the Aam Aadmi Party in Gujarat.
Charu Pragya, we've got your line fixed now. I want you to respond to Mr. Mukhopadhyay, veteran political analyst and journalist. His take is that the regular formula is not working on Aam Aadmi Party that the BJP has against all opposition. Ki corrupt hai, dynastic politics hai. That's not sticking with these guys. And that's the issue.
And Tamanna, I don't know if the point I was trying to make in my opening remarks was lost or it was heard properly. But the fact is that all the press conferences over the last few days, Aam Aadmi Party has chosen to discuss something other than the charges which have been levied upon them. They have discussed everything except the liquor policy. They have answered all questions except the pointed ones that have been asked to them. And these same questions we are repeatedly asking. And the funny thing is that every time they speak to people, they say the excise policy was a brilliant one. Well, if that's the case, why did you take a U-turn on such a brilliant policy? And you did that the day investigations opened. If that is not suspect, I don't know what is. Repeatedly, we've discussed numbers. If you allow me, I can go over them again. It is not just the point of those 145 crores which were given away to the liquor lobby. It is also the timing of those 145 crores. They were given away at the time of the second wave of the COVID-19 pandemic. The second wave was terrible for the people of Delhi. People were desperate for some more medicine, some oxygen. And what was this government trying to do?
I will get Mr. Dave to respond to your questions on the liquor policy. But isn't diverting the topic a classic political strategy? I mean, which party doesn't do it? Don't you do it? Don't you do it? When people ask you, what did your sarkar do on mehengai, you say, look at what the Congress did. When anyone asks you about anything, you say, look at what they did. I mean, whataboutery is part of Indian politics. Why should they not do it?
If anybody wants to discuss mehengai, it is done in comparison to how mehengai is placed the world over. You have to do a comparison for inflation. It cannot be looked upon in isolation, and that is what we end up doing. But in this case, I just listed out 5 or 6 deflection tactics which have been used by the Aam Aadmi Party.
Okay, Mr. Dave, the charge is that you're deflecting. Charu Pragya is saying that whenever you are asked about your liquor policy, which clearly was a problem, that's why you took it back, you talk about something else. You're asked about liquor policy, you say that, look, the NYT has praised me. You're asked about liquor policy, you say that, Manish Sisodia has received this message, this mystery message. Why aren't you answering the question? Mr. Dave? All right, I seem to have lost that line. All right, Nilanjan Mukhopadhyay, just to come to specifically the question of Gujarat, and I find the question of Gujarat very, very interesting because this is, the Modi bastion. It seems unshakable. It seems one that cannot be breached. Do you think Arvind Kejriwal is a brave man, or this is also a perception fight in the larger picture?
No, I think nobody is really brave in politics. Everybody is being very ambitious. I do not think that the word brave is really important. He definitely is going in and into Gujarat and to try to create a splash. They did it in 2014, got a bit of traction, but they realized that they spread too thin. That is why in 2017, they tried to focus on a smaller area, contested fewer seats, but it did not really work for them because till the last moment, the Congress had virtually, really had the BJP struggling to get a majority. And as the final result showed, that had it not been for the turnaround in the last week, which was partly because of the electoral brilliance of Mr. Modi in his campaign, the last-ditch campaign in 2017. I remember I was there traveling throughout and writing about it. And also a couple of howlers which the Congress made, including the dinner party at Mr. Manishankar Ayer's house, which was attended by several of the Congress bigwigs. So it enabled the BJP to link up the Congress with the standard kind of, anti-national forces that they're hand in league. And it really gave the last push to the BJP campaign. And that is why they possibly ended up with 99 seats. Had that not happened, maybe the contest would have come down a bit more.
Way back. Mr. Dave, can you hear me?
2017.
Sure. Mr. Yes.
So what there's something which we have to understand, that despite all the BJP dominance for the last so many decades that we keep on talking about, there is a core 30 to 5% vote which is ideologically opposed to the BJP. I use the word ideologically, that they are against the politics of Hindutva, wherever it is coming from. Now, who does, and this has traditionally been, been behind the Congress party. And I do not think that this is really going to drift away much, because if you look at Aam Aadmi Party is essentially trying to get into the BJP's terrain. Arvind Kejriwal is being a very good Hindu. He goes to Ayodhya, he does a public puja. Today, Manish Sisodia even claimed to be from the same dynasty as Rana Pratap, virtually stealing the entire plank of BJP. Good politics, believing in that a technocratic way of tackling issues beyond politics is really good. So I think that if Aam Aadmi Party does well, it is going to be more at the cost of the BJP than the Congress.
Okay. Mr. Dave, do I have you back on, sir? We've been waiting for your audio and video to get fixed. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right.
Better.
All right.
Yes.
So I request you to just keep the frame there. Okay, Charu Pragya has asked you a few questions. I don't know if you managed to hear them. She is saying that whenever the question of the liquor scam, the excise policy scam comes about, AAP changes the question and starts talking about something else. You start talking about education. Today, Manish Sisodia has made an Operation Lotus claim. Why aren't you answering the question?
Okay, I thought the debate was that Gujarat is becoming a battlefield between AAP and BJP.
But you're saying so everything that the BJP does is because of Gujarat.
You got to understand one thing, Tamanna, that over here there was a latha kand in Botad. It has not been a month as yet. Some 6 months back, there was a 22,000 crore drug haul at Mundra Port. Nothing has happened. No action has been taken by the BJP government. Okay, in my district in Surendranagar, an ASI, assistant sub-inspector, lady sub-inspector, a truck full of Indian-made foreign liquor. Okay, so when you talk about liquor, why don't you talk about liquor in Gujarat? Okay, what action has these people? And when we talk about Mr. Manish Sisodia's lookout, see, lookout is meant for whom? Those people who are absconding, those people who run.
There is no lookout.
I think
the Aam Aadmi Party spokesperson is not updated.
1 minute. Charu, he listened to you. He's listened to you and he's made a valid point about what has happened in Gujarat, where people died of consuming spurious liquor in a dry state.
So, and 87 people lost their lives.
Yeah, but see, Mr. Dave, again, you've done the classic politician turn.
Can I come in?
1 minute. Mr. Dave, you've again done the classic politician turn, which is change the question and made it about a different state. Yes, what happened in Gujarat is horrific. Yes, you are fighting an election there, but your excise policy was fishy at best and maybe was rife with corruption at worst because you had to withdraw it.
Listen, you got to understand that the ED, there is the 0.5% conviction rate ED.
No, that's irrelevant.
Okay,
you withdrew the policy. You withdrew the policy, sir. You withdrew the policy, Mr. Dave.
You got to understand. He is the health minister. He is the health minister. See, Aam Aadmi Party has been thrown up into the polity of India just because they are working such that the Aam Aadmi of India's the lifestyle will be elevated. We are committed to that.
What does that have to do with my question? What does that have to do with my question?
Please let me complete.
Yes.
We are not doing politics. We are transforming the landscape of Indian politics. You want to understand that. We are a performance-based party.
No, but again, Mr. Dave, I appreciate all your sentiments, but please, she is asking one question which the person on the opposite side of the screen is asking to you. You must answer that. What happened with your excise policy, and if it was good, why did you withdraw it?
Yeah.
You got to understand. Would you give me enough time?
Yes.
And listen to me, then I would explain it completely.
Yes.
Yeah. See what happened in Delhi. See this debate is basically for Gujarat and Gujarat's battlefield. However, I would want to answer that since you are persisting with one question, I will definitely give the answer. The 144 crores is less than 1.5% of the liquor amount committed by the Thekas of Delhi totally, which is 9,000 crores. I will put it in very short. And they had asked, since they had committed in writing to give 9,000 crores, they have again asked during the corona time, the liquor shops were closed. So kindly give us some kind of rebate, some relaxation. And this rebate was given of 144 crores. Now you tell me in MCD, the 785 crores of a toll tax collection tender, MCD has given a relaxation to the contractor of 85 crores. That is almost 12% for just the same reason that during Corona, they did not get
All right,
enough
so
traffic.
he's returned with another what about?
And one
Charu
more thing.
Pragya, he's come back with another what about? If you're
They have
questioning the
relaxed,
concession
MCD
that
has
they
relaxed
gave,
100
what about the
crores.
concession that the
Let me
MCD
give
gave?
some-
See, now this is what happens.
And
They are
100
fighting
crores
fire
of
with
100
fire.
crores. No,
So,
no, there
Tamanna,
is a difference. There is a difference. You got to
Mr. Dave,
understand.
Mr.
The
Dave,
MCD
you had
has
more
not
than
been
enough
rated
time,
by ED or
and now it's
CBI.
reasonably my turn to speak.
Okay. Yes, Charu,
No,
quick
you got to
response to this,
let me
then I want to
complete
close
this.
this thing
No,
because I want to come back to the question of Gujarat.
So
Yes.
the biggest difference between anything that Mr. Dave is quoting right now and the Delhi government liquor policy is that they took back the policy. I rest my case. If everything was so perfect, why is it that they are not able to defend it? You look at the numbers. The numbers are mind-boggling. 195 crore lost to the exchequer every month. That is the decline in revenue every single month. While the sale of whiskey goes up by nearly 60%, the wine sale goes up by 87%.
I'm going to come to Gujarat. I'm going to come to Gujarat because Charu, simply at the end of the day, this is something which is being investigated by the Enforcement Directorate and the CBI now, correct? So then they have to come to a conclusion. You have to wait for it. Right? So then let's leave that at it. Let me come back to the question of Gujarat, Charu. Here, Arvind Kejriwal today says that all of this action is going to end in December. All of this is being done to target them because you're worried about Gujarat. Now tell me about Gujarat.
But
and why if the Aam Aadmi Party is so irrelevant, why does the BJP keep speaking only about the Aam Aadmi Party morning, night and noon?
So, first of all, we need to remember that we are a country where there is an election happening in every nook and corner every couple of months. So if you think the investigative agencies will stop working because there's an election around the corner, then no work is going to happen. The same applies to the courts. The same applies to the judiciary of this country. So I'm sorry, with one election around the corner, I don't think that's enough of an excuse, because if it was after Gujarat, they would have said this is for 24 general elections, and they would have found another election. Maybe Delhi comes after 24, 25.
Are you saying Gujarat is like every other election for the BJP?
So are you trying to say that every year there is not one very important, very vital election? Are you going to say Uttar Pradesh was not important for us? Are you trying to say that 2024
But Uttar Pradesh, you were hardly talking about Aam Aadmi Party. They were nowhere on your scene.
I'm trying to make a very sensible point here, and every single time an investigation is opened against anyone from the opposition, they say election का reason है. भाई election तो हो ही रहा है ना. आप किसी भी state में चुनाव लड़ने वाले हो, election तो हो ही रहा है. But if you are also talking about
Tamanna, I need to answer this.
The Delhi model which is being pushed for Gujarat today is actually a model which is based on solid advertising. Lots and lots of money, thousands of crores of money spent on advertising.
I'm sorry to have to say this, Charu, but making the fact that a party advertises its achievements as a bad thing is quite rich coming from you. Because the BJP is very good at advertising, and many say that's a good thing.
No, so can I give you facts? We can take each of their policies, whichever one you want to discuss, because this is so much of discussion about the education minister. Shall we discuss education?
No, I don't want to divert. You're saying that their entire Delhi model is based on advertising.
Yes, I am calling out the Delhi model.
Why is that? How is advertising for your achievements a bad thing in the BJP's book? Anyway, Aam Aadmi Party's Vikram Dave, please answer. Please answer.
Tamanna, you got to understand one thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Tamanna,
One by one. Charu, let Vikram speak, then you will speak uninterrupted. Let him speak, then you will speak. Yes, Vikram.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for giving this opportunity. Normally, the BJP people wouldn't give it. See, you got to understand.
You don't need me to
In
give it.
the
The
last
answer is making
1
sure
year,
you
1.5 years, see, there is a Patel just because they wanted to appease the Patels. They changed Mr. Rupani. The morning, the chief minister was felicitated for good work, and in the afternoon he was asked to resign.
Calling me on this debate when I'm not even allowed to finish my
No,
point.
Charu, I will come to you. I will come to you. Let's give Mr. Okay, let's do this. Mr. Dave, you take 20 seconds to answer, and then Charu will respond 20 seconds uninterrupted on both sides. Okay, let's do that for our viewers. Mr. Dave, you have 20 seconds. Please make a succinct, clear point in 20 seconds.
Madam, this is not done. You got to let me complete what I am talking.
Yes, Mr. Dave,
would you please let me do it?
For a one-on-one interview. This is a debate. This is not an interview.
Okay, Charu, I'll come to you. Let him finish. Let him finish and I'll come to you uninterrupted, I promise. Yes, Mr. Dave.
Yes. See, before 1 year, Bhupendra Bhai was installed as the CM just to appease the Patel caste because of the emergence of Aam Aadmi Party. With 0 MLAs, we have shown how we can fight it out. 93 of our Karyakars have gone to the jail. Would you let me complete, please? Would you give me
I will tell you,
minute
Charu, when.
and a half?
And you will get enough time. Yes.
I don't think this is fair talking from BJP.
No,
this is the way
Mr.
they
Dave, please
keep
complete.
doing.
And as I said, please come to the point of what you're trying to say.
Yes, what I am trying to say is that Charu madam talked about distraction. Now, who is distracting everything? Tell me, inflation it's at peak. The middle class and the lower middle class is suffering so much. The rates of LPG, the rates of oil, that is the whole issue. The cooking oil, that is the biggest issue right now. And Aam Aadmi Party has actually performed there. The New York Times is right. It's
okay. Your 20 seconds are up, Mr. Dave. I would just request you make one cogent point. You said some 6-7 things in 20 seconds. Okay, Charu Pragya, your response. Mr. Dave, your time is up, sir. Charu Pragya, your response. I expect a clear, succinct response in 20 seconds.
So I am calling out the Delhi model of development. And I am calling out that model of development. It does not matter which department you mention. I'm going to back my claims with RTI dates if you like. But if you want me to keep it shorter, I'll leave out the dates. If Mr. Dave needs it, I can send it to him later. Now, when he talks of the New York Times article, he forgets that, first of all, that photo was not even from a Delhi government school. He also forgets that Aam Aadmi Party has first up maybe a couple of schools in the state of Delhi, but what happens to the other schools? RTI queries show us that the state of Delhi schools is actually worse than it used to be. 745 schools have no principal. Mr. Dave, you need to listen to this. You don't have a principal in 745 schools. 416 schools have no vice principal. Now, you're running this perfect model of education without principals and vice principals. You do not spend 40% of the budget you allocate to education every year. 40% of the budget lapses, sir, and you call this a perfect model of education.
Okay.
Out of 1,030 schools.
Your time's up, Charu.
330. No, you did not let his time be up. Let me finish making my point.
He barely got 20 seconds.
1 minute.
You got to let me answer this.
Everything that I am saying is actually criminal and unlawful in nature.
If it is criminal, you have the ED, you have the CBI with you.
Okay.
Please go ahead.
Nilanjan Mukhopadhyay has very quietly raised his finger. I think I should go to him. Vikram Dave, Charu Pragya, let me give you a break for a bit. I'm going to Nilanjan Mukhopadhyay. Please listen to him. Please listen to him. Please listen to Nilanjan Mukhopadhyay. Vikram Dave and Charu Pragya, I request you please listen to other voices also on the debate.
I will, but I need you to listen to this. You're giving time in a very unfair manner, and Mr. Mukhopadhyay can please take his time.
Okay. Nilanjan Mukhopadhyay. Now, what is this fight boiling down to? Is it boiling down to this Delhi model, which seems to have worked for the AAP in Punjab? Or is it boiling down to the allegations of corruption on Kejriwal's key people?
You know, I find it quite amusing. Looking at what the strategy which Mr. Kejriwal is using, he's actually borrowed several tactics from Mr. Modi. Mr. Modi used to believe that no publicity is bad publicity. Bad publicity is also good publicity. It keeps you in news. Throughout this entire event in the last 3 months, since March onwards, we have seen Mr. Modi talk about revdi culture a lot, and Arvind Kejriwal hitting back. Running schools is revdi, giving health facilities is revdi. Regardless of whatever the BJP has tried to do, the center of debate is the Aam Aadmi Party and Mr. Kejriwal. I was listening to Charu Pragya very intently, and she would possibly not agree with me, but I could not but recall that her tone of accusation at Kejriwal was virtually the same thing what used to be that of the Congress spokespersons way back in 2013 and 14 when Mr. Modi and the Gujarat model was being talked about. At that time, the Gujarat model was being talked about in just the same way as the Delhi model is being talked about. The BJP is trying to counter that Delhi model is bad, that the liquor policy was bad. So it's all about proving what Arvind Kejriwal has done wrongly, just the way that about 8 years or 9 years ago, the entire country was trying to prove that what Mr. Modi has done for the last 13 years as the Chief Minister of Gujarat is all wrong. So it's virtually like, I see the history being repeated. I'm not saying that the rest is going to also follow, because Aam Aadmi Party is very small, but I think that at the moment it appears to be making some kind of a dent for us to say that, well, this is a completely unexpected verdict which we will get in November this year.
All right, Charu Pragya, your response to the comments by Nilanjan Mukhopadhyay. Only Charu Pragya will speak. Only Charu Pragya will speak. After that, Mr. Dave, you will speak. Sir, please. Thoda sa, as the anchor, thoda sa to mujhe karne dijiye, please. Charu Pragya will speak and then Vikram Dave will speak. Yes.
Yeah. You're, of course, entitled to your opinion, and they have won Delhi fair and square, and I'm not contending that. All I'm trying to say is that the image which is projected is not the true one. And you also mentioned the liquor policy which has been rolled back. So when we all come back to the so-called liquor policy, which was taken back, I don't understand why the conversation cannot remain focused on that. Aam Aadmi Party is still dilly-dallying. There are no nitty-gritties explained. The numbers are unexplained. The way in which it was done, a post-facto cabinet approval was taken for this liquor policy. Education Minister is formulating it, for God's sake. Pictures are out. So when everything is looking so great, and on top of that, Delhi Sarkar rolls back the liquor policy, I think the proof is in the pudding.
Okay. Mr. Dave, your response to the points Mr. Mukhopadhyay made. I'm not focusing any more on the liquor policy today. We have discussed it in the past. Charu, you've been on that show. Today we're talking about the Gujarat pitch, but you've made your point on the liquor policy. Vikram Dave, your response specifically to what Nilanjan Mukhopadhyay said, and I find that very interesting. If you want to take this debate up a notch, about how Arvind Kejriwal seems to be borrowing from the playbook of Mr. Modi in 2013.
I think Mr. Mukhopadhyay has hit the right spot. Actually, what is happening is that the Delhi government is performing well vis-a-vis the Gujarat government. So what has happened is, and 27 years of BJP creating, when somebody in democracy rules for 27 years, there is a creation of mafia in every nook and corner, whether it is the health department or whether it is the liquor prohibition department, wherever you go. So what has happened is, in the history of any state, it is the first time that the whole chief minister as well as the whole ministry was sent back home by the BJP, and a fresh, all new faces were brought in, just because there was a solid anti-incumbency of the old ministry.
Mr. Dave, the Gujarat government is known to do that. The BJP is known to shuffle in Gujarat time and again, right from the chief minister. They did that before the last assembly elections as well. You know that you're a Gujarat politician.
No, mister, it was fought in, the last assembly election was fought.
Where is the criminality
Mr. Rupani chief ministerial face. Now, what has happened
Okay, well, Charu Pragya, he listened to you. That's not fair. He listened to you. All right, I'm going to wrap this here. I don't know if we're going to see many more AAP versus BJP fights and debates. The proof is always in the pudding. We have to see which way the voters go. Right now, it's clear the Aam Aadmi Party is nationally pitching itself as the alternative to the BJP at the cost of other opposition parties, primarily the Congress. So we have to understand the dynamics of what is panning out. Why every few days you see an AAP versus BJP fight, whether it's on the liquor policy, whether it's on what the LG said, whether it's on ED, CBI charges, and now, of course, it's about Gujarat. This is a battle. We have to see how it actually pans out, because at the end of the day, it depends on whether the Aam Aadmi Party can really bag a third state after their win in Punjab. Well,